What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Week 11 Hit the Books NFL live stream, where we're going to take a look at our top 5 games of the week. We have 3 1 o'clock games on the slate, a 4 o'clock game, and as usual, our Sunday Night Football matchup. We are going to start with the LA Chargers visiting the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. Chargers coming into this game is a 3-point favorite, minus 164 on the money line. Packers at plus 138, and the over-under at 44.5. I don't know how you guys are going on this one, Ace, Mackey. I'm on the Packers here. I like the Packers as a home dog, plus the points. I am probably going to take the +3. I don't know if this will end up on my card. I might go ahead and add it, but I was looking at this play all week. I think Aaron Jones has a great game. I did take him to get the first touchdown in this game, so I like the Packers to take a lead at home. Mackey, I'll hand things off over to you. Chargers at Packers. Which way are you leaning on this game?
Yeah, definitely a sketchy game. I kind of lean Packers as well. I think it's going to be tough to go into Lambeau in the cold and kind of get a win in a must-win situation. I know we say a must-win situation for the Chargers every week, but it literally is here. You're 4-5. You fall to 4-6. Your season's over. Justin Herbert might have a tough day against this tough defense in Lambeau. I'm going to go with the Packers plus the 3 points. I think a low-scoring battle. Probably going to stay away on card because it's a tough, sketchy game, but I think I lean Packers for sure.
Well, I'm surprised that you guys are so heavy on these Packers that haven't shown us too much.
You're surprised I'm against the Chargers?
No, not surprised about that, but I'm surprised that you're on the Chargers. But you said you weren't going to card them, so I guess it makes sense.
Right.
I personally normally take anytime touchdown scores as my lock of the week. I'm going to go with the Chargers as my lock of the week. I'm surprised you guys even think this will be a game. They're going to put up way too many points for Jordan Love to cover. Austin Eckler's been firing on all cylinders. Keenan Allen putting up another Pro Bowl type year. And coming off some good weeks for the Chargers, I think they keep the good times rolling right now as they look to get back to the playoffs, especially with teams like the Bengals falling out of the mix, the Browns with all these injuries. I like the Chargers -3. That's going to be my lock of the week, even though I think Eckler touchdown's really great play too. But you'll see this on my card.
Listen,
I think it's just.
I think Packers either find a way to get this by the skin of their teeth and win by 3. The Chargers can win this game by 20. So they can go one of two ways. I think the Chargers are a more superior team by far, but it could just be one of those games, you know?
Dude,
Yeah,
I just think the
out
Packers are a good team at home. Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I don't think Jordan Love is that bad. I still think he's able to get the job done against another bad head coach like Brandon Staley. So I like the Packers here to jump out at a quick lead. Like I said, I took the Aaron Jones first touchdown. I think I got it +900, so that's always fun. But yeah, we'll see. We'll get into the second game. Who we have here? We have Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Houston Texans. I can't find this game. The Cardinals coming into this game as a 5.5-point underdog, plus 198 on the money line. The Texans are -240 with an over/under at 48.5. So we get Kyler Murray versus CJ Stroud. I'm on the Cardinals here. I like the Cardinals +6. I have that on my card. I am going with Kyler Murray to keep the ball rolling for the Cardinals. I know their defense is atrocious. I know CJ Stroud's been great. A lot of money on the Texans. I'm going to trust Kyler Murray to get the job done on the road this week. Kyler Murray in the state of Texas. That remember that stat from a couple years ago. He always plays good in his home state. I'm going with the Cardinals plus the points here. Ace, I'll hand things off over to you. Cardinals, Texans.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought we'd be talking about this game? What a great matchup, though. Two quarterbacks that are high flying. Last week, Kyler Murray coming off the shelf to show us why he once was a top pick. I might have to throw on my black Kyler Murray jersey today. I've been going back and forth on this game. Weird line, great value for those Cardinals. But how can you dismantle what CJ Stroud's doing? He's going to go off this game. He's going for that rookie of the year. I started him up in all my fantasy leagues, traded for him in one of them, actually. But I think that he's going to keep going. I know Noah Brown is out, but they have Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz stepping up to the scene, and Devin Singletary. They're really turning into that lead back. I think this is a shootout here. My favorite play here is definitely going to be the over. The side, like I said, keeps flipping. I did a pro football pick. I took the Texans. Then I looked the other day. I threw together a teaser. I took the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals could win this one straight up, though, with the way Kyler's playing. But that defense, like you said, Huff, scaring me a bit. But I think it's going to be a shootout here. Both quarterbacks going to get things going against lighter defenses. Mackie, who do you think is going to win this one? If I have to pick a side, I'm going to go with the Texans. So split this decision for us.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Texans here. I like that over. I like that over, though. I think that's a good play. I didn't even really look into that, but I see both teams kind of flying. But Huff, you said it best. I mean, this Cardinals defense is atrocious, and CJ Stroud's been throwing for 400 yards against pretty good defenses. So, I mean, I can imagine he's going to dismantle this Cardinals defense. I think Kyler Murray has a decent game. I'm not as high on Kyler Murray as everybody else is, but I mean, he's still a pretty good quarterback. He's the one thing is he's only in his second week. He had a pretty good week last week, but we got to see him do it again. I lean the Texans -5.5. I think CJ Stroud has a huge day. And I think the Texans just put up over 30 points. So I think that it's going to be hard for the Cardinals to keep up.
I agree, and I think CJ Stroud's schedule gets a lot tougher down the stretch. This is one of his last light weeks, and he's still vying for that MVP race, Rookie of the Year. He's like entrenched himself in the race among Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. He's right there with him. His TD/INT ratio is nuts. He's looking like a veteran quarterback. It's athletic play too, and that goes to show you that the IQ test before the season doesn't mean everything all the time.
Chance Galucci, I'm with you. No, you can't bet on the Cards. 2-8. I don't care if Kyler Murray is back. Let's go with the Texans.
But you can take the over. I think they score points, but their defense couldn't stop. They couldn't stop anything. I don't know. You could take like a pack of ants running through. They're getting by.
Jesus.
All right, we'll get into our next matchup. We have my Pittsburgh Steelers heading into Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns coming to this one as a -2.5 point favorite, -133 on the money line. Steelers right here on FanDuel listed at +112 on the money line with an over/under at a low 32.5. I'm on the Steelers here. There's no secret on that. No Deshaun Watson. I think our defense is able to, whatever you're going to say, contain DTR. I don't know what he's going to be able to do. I know Jerome Ford will probably have a good game. Their defense is still their defense. We like to split with our division, but I think this is a game where the Steelers defense needs to step up and get a win here. I like the Steelers as underdogs here on the road.
You guys already beat the Browns?
Yeah.
Oof.
Dude, this line, dude, it's super sketchy. I mean, it was at -1 and then Deshaun Watson's out and now it's -2. It doesn't make much sense to me, but I'm not gonna have a play on this one. I kind of do lean the Browns though in a really low scoring game. Total's at 33.5 for a reason. That's probably the lowest in the season for sure. But we just got to see a little out of this Pittsburgh secondary, and I think that they'll be fine. But I mean, if they're not going to have to score that many points. I mean, if Kenny Pickett's able to do a little, maybe the Steelers can win, but it's going to be all defense here. You might even see a few defensive touchdowns. It's going to be the difference maker in this one. Myles Garrett, I assume he's going to have a huge game. Obviously, TJ Watt on the other side as well. It's going to be a battle between those two, I think. But give me the edge to the Browns, but I don't know. I'm not going to play no way.
Mackie, I'm agreeing with you on almost all points except for that Browns moneyline play. Like you said originally, I'm not touching this one. But you got to think the Steelers have won stranger games, so why wouldn't they win this one? But like I've said throughout the year, I can't card either of it because if the Steelers win, it's we're scratching our head like, how the hell did that happen? If the Browns win, we're like, well, how did they do that without anybody?
DTR,
Yeah, and Huff's talking about people saying they have to contain him. I don't even think that's a thought. You're just saying, oh, Kenny Pickett, don't throw a pick six, because I do like this game to have a defensive touchdown. I don't know from what side, so maybe you get some value, play both of the half a unit, and you're making good value there either way. But I think it's going to be low. If you want to watch the game of football be set back 30 years in terms of offensive production, go watch this one. I do think the Steelers come out with the win. Their playoff percent, they're at 85%. They get a win today against a team that doesn't even know what they're going to be doing on offense. I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. All you have to do is not turn the ball over. I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin will be telling them that. And Jaylen Warren, he's been a spark plug into that offense, running for over 100 last week. I think he gets going, which is actually helping out Najee too, if we've noticed, because they're two different backs. So they can keep the ball on the ground and run well. I think they can get the win this week.
This Steelers team sitting at 6-3 gets to play Dorian Thompson-Robinson and then Browning next week. Is that who's starting for the Bengals? Yeah. So if they're sitting at 8-3 after the next 2 weeks, you can't ask for more out of the Steelers team. Mike Tomlin might be the GOAT after that.
Huff, I do have to say this though. I know that the Steelers, like, no discredit to them though. They look at their record and they're going to end up with a good record in the playoffs. But it really reminds me of that Steelers team of a few years ago that was undefeated. And it's like, are you even good though? Like, everybody knows you're not that good. And it's like when you get to the playoffs, I'm eager to see what happens.
Like I was saying, dude, I was looking at our schedule. Like our next 4 games are these two. We have Browns here against Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Next week against the Bengals with Jake Browning. Week after that, it's the Cardinals with Kyler. That's going to be a tough matchup now that he's back. The week after that, it's a Thursday night matchup at home against your Patriots. Like, I like our chances to go. If we can go at least 3-1 there and we get out of this, what are we right now? 6-3. That'd be 9-4. Like, there's a chance. Like, I I don't know.
Chance,
The way I'm
chance
looking
for
at the
what?
division,
Where are
the
you getting
Ravens,
at here?
the Ravens do not have a good rest of the season schedule.
you're-
And the Steelers have the easier schedule. I'm saying the Steelers could get a home playoff game.
You're talking division what? You're division winners.
Tough.
here.
Even if they got a home playoff game, I don't think they're winning a playoff game. But we'll talk
Ah,
about that. We'll talk about that
I
when we
don't-
get there. We'll talk about that when we get there.
I
It'll
think
depend
if
on
the
who they
Steelers-
draw.
I think if the Steelers can play a game in Acrisure, they can get a pretty weak opponent. They can get a win for sure.
I don't think
But
that. I don't
you
think those lower
That's
seeds in the
no.
AFC are going
they're
to be
not
weak
going to be a lower
opponents.
seed. Steelers can finish the season 11-5 with the schedule they have left. They get to
No,
play
no,
Jake
I'm saying
Browning twice
that's
still.
what I'm saying. There are opponents that are going to be lower seeds in the AFC this year. They're not going to be weak teams. You might get the Bills. You know, if you get the
You
Bills,
want to see the Bills right now. Steelers will beat
I
the
know,
Bills
I
right
know,
now.
I know with everything going on right now, but like you don't want to see the Bills as a 7 seed. You don't. You'd rather see like the Texans.
I'm taking the Steelers over the Bills.
If it's
or
at
the
home,
Titans
I'd take
in
either of those.
Acrisure
It's
again.
if it's the Steelers playing on
No,
home
you
field,
get what I'm
changes
saying
everything.
though. Like you're
No,
not getting as
definitely,
a week
definitely.
of a wild card team as you
Definitely.
normally would.
They're not going to be playing like how the Cowboys had to play the
pushover.
Bucks last year.
Yeah. I think that the Steelers are going to be one of those teams that you want to see on your playoff schedule.
And the difference about this team and the team in 2020 is that team in 2020 started 11-0 and then lost 5 out of 6. This team's like steady, like playing really good.
Listen to how we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers like a bona fide playoff team. If they somehow lose this game to Dorian Thompson-Robinson, how much is the narrative going to change?
They
next
could.
week?
They could. I think they still make the playoffs.
I honestly don't think it changes much. You win next week, you just go 1-1 in the division in 2 weeks. You're still 3-4-1 in the division.
This game doesn't. I think the
Well,
only thing.
Huff,
this
then
thing
you said you want to
changes-
go 3-1 over the next 4. Then you have to go 3-0 over your next 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but that's
yeah,
fine,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
still like
They can with
I'm
the
overlooking
schedule.
your Patriots. That
could
Cardinals
lose
game
those
at
games
home, I
too,
think
though.
that could be a trap game.
I've just that slow offense. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, hey, they've caught a few breaks. Got to capitalize on one today.
All right,
Yeah.
done talking about the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm the Steeler fan. So let's get into this 4:00 game. So we have the Seattle Seahawks going into LA to take on Sean McVay and the Rams. Rams come into this one as a 1.5 point favorite. This line is moved when me and Mac, when we talked on Wednesday, I think it was a 1 point underdog, right? Now it's a 1.5 point favorite for the Rams. Minus 126 on the money line. Seahawks plus 108 on the over under at 46.5. I'm on the Rams here. I like McVay at home. I like this Rams team getting healthier. I think the receivers get going here today with Kupp and Nakua and Stafford another week healthier. I like the Rams in the spot. I don't know about you guys, Mackie. I'll hand things off over to you. I do have the Rams money line on my card here today. So which way are you going on this one? Seahawks, Rams.
Yeah, I kind of like the Rams as well, but I really like the over in this play. I like the over 46.5. I think both teams kind of fly. Rams offense is going to play really well at home, and that's the only offense you really got to worry about here. I think Seattle's definitely going to put up the points against this pretty weak Rams defense. So I'm not going to have a play on the line though, -2, but I really like the over here. I think I'm going to roll with the over 46.5.
Well, I'm surprised you guys are so heavy on the Rams, especially with the question marks coming into this one. Is Matthew Stafford healthy? We saw him miss his last game. We saw last year. Remember just literally a year ago, before he was shelved for the season, when he was playing banged up, he looked god awful. You got to hope he's back to his true self if you want to get those guys going. I know they have Nakua, they have Kupp, Darrell Henderson coming back in the scene in the running back room, so they can score some points. But I don't know. The Seahawks team is a lot more proven over the last 2 years now. They have firing on all cylinders. They have everybody ready to go. There's no question marks. We know what we're getting out of Kenneth Walker, the 3-headed monster on the outside with DK, Lockett. I don't know if Lockett's playing, and JSN. That team's got a lot of players, and on the defensive side, they can match up pretty well. They have some of those young corners that I know Kupp, you can't cover them anyways, but they have some good matchups on that side. I like the Seahawks here. I don't know if I'll card it. This one you'll have to wait to see. I do think they score too many points for the Rams to keep up. The Rams are good at getting those air yards, but they're not good at converting on those points.
Ace, who's getting in today?
It's got to be Kenneth Walker. He's scoring every time, right?
Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown. I like it here. I like the points here. I like.
It's got to be a low line though. It's got to be. He's probably gonna be like minus 125, I'd guess.
That's worth it.
That's best case scenario though. I'm saying. I think it could be even worse than that. You can find like minus 165, Mackie. It could be tough.
Kenneth Walker, if you can get him under 130, I think it's worth it.
I agree with you. Yeah, I think there's a lot of points too. I just don't know how many the Rams themselves are going to score. When Stafford's been healthy, he looked great, but is he healthy? That's a huge question.
He's been a full participant this week in practice, which is a really good sign, but obviously it's not everything.
I'm just trying to think back. Do you remember last year though? Before he was on the table, he was
Kenneth Walker
he was
plus
banged up.
100 anytime touchdown.
That's what you got him at?
I have
I
plus
see it on
110.
DraftKings.
Oh
I
my
see plus
God.
100 on DraftKings.
Oh, so we can find even better. Mackie, we might have to both put that on there.
I think I might be playing that, even though I kind of do lean Rams in
The
this
last
game.
time I played it though, 2 weeks ago, he got stuffed on the goal line twice in a row, and I was
That
like,
won't. That's
"Oh,
not happening against this Rams defense.
no, just double team 99 and we'll be good."
Yeah, not with Aaron Donald up the middle. There's no way they
Yeah,
Yeah,
stop the
no,
middle.
I
no
know
way.
where
Aaron Donald
this is going to be a
sucks.
great divisional matchup though, so I think it's going to be close throughout. That's why I think they have the line the way it is. But still, if Stafford's not 100%, even 90%, Seahawks may blow them out. I know we only have one more game left, but I just did want to shout out another great game in this 4 o'clock slate will be the Jets and Bills. I don't know how that one's going to go. I think the Bills, I don't know, they haven't shown up yet, but they must win this one, so that'll be a great game at 4 o'clock as well.
I think this could be a game where the Bills smoke the Jets.
Yeah, I do too. But
no way.
whenever you think the Bills are going to play well this year, they don't.
Jets money line.
Stephon Diggs, he might get the squeaky wheel too after his brother's requesting a trade. So definitely look into Diggs props.
All right, let's get into this Sunday night matchup. We have Josh Dobbs and the Minnesota Vikings heading to Mile High to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Broncos coming into this matchup as a 3-point favorite, minus 156 on the money line. Vikings plus 132, and the over/under at 41.5. Russ has been playing great ball. I am going with the Broncos here. I like them as a home favorite and Mile High on their home field, primetime football. I don't know. The defense, they've gotten better over the past couple of weeks, and I mean, Russ is just doing enough to get the job done. Give me the Broncos here against this Vikings team. I'm not sold on Josh Dobbs. I think he's going to have a slip-up week. I think it comes this week in Sunday Night Football. Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you.
Yeah, I'm rolling with you too. Let's roll with Russ on Sunday Night Football. Ace he's just gonna be like, wow, I'm really surprised you guys are on the But no, I mean,
he's not surprised I'm on the Broncos here, I don't think.
No, I just want to say that Hoff was about to say Vikings because that's what his brain knew.
No, I'm literally looking at the game.
Broncos, it's the Broncos.
No, but give me the Broncos here minus the 3. They're on a 3-game heater. Russ is playing really good football. His stats are actually similar to Patrick Mahomes, and everyone's all on Patrick Mahomes to win MVP.
Russell Mahomes, dude. That's what you're thinking.
So not what I'm saying. Not
dude,
exactly
look at the
what
stats,
I'm saying,
bro.
But he's playing very good football.
Look at the eye test.
Look at the eye test. Have you watched the last few games? They're on a 3-game.
Yeah, he beat Mahomes' ass. He beat his ass 3 weeks ago. Look at the eye test.
And then Josh Allen right after. You beat 2 potential top 3 quarterbacks. I don't think Josh Allen's top 3 anymore, but 2 potential top 3 quarterbacks in 2 weeks. You got to put a little respect on his name. This defense is playing really good ever since they got hung by 70 to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They're stepping up. They have a lot more culture in that locker room. Sean Payton's been kind of meshing with his team more. He's figuring it out a little more. I think he's really getting that playbook down. But Russell Wilson, I think he's going to have a great game. Josh Dobbs also probably going to have a pretty good game. But, I mean, this Vikings team has won 5 straight. They're not the best team in the league. They got to lose soon. I said it last week. They pulled it out last week. They're going to lose this week on Sunday Night Football.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm with the rest of the chat. Skull. I mean, they're going to win this week. Josh Dobbs is
public play.
Josh Dobbs has been playing great football ever since he came over. Guy was playing great football in Arizona too, and he just keeps winning. And now they get more healthier and healthier. I know there's no Justin Jefferson tonight. Maybe that helps them a bit, but Patrick Surtain is going to play well against whoever. But it's really T.J. Hawkinson that's going to get the job done, and Josh Dobbs on the ground too. I mean, this one's going to be tight throughout. Denver Broncos have came back to life. Sean Payton is a good coach, contrary to prior belief earlier in the season. With a good defense, a lot of weapons around Russ. They're looking a bit better, but I think they come back down to earth a bit this week. Not as big of a game. They were hyped up in the divisional matchup. They were hyped up for the Bills. I know they'll be hyped up in a Sunday night game, but I like the Vikings here to get back on track as they look to get back in the divisional race with 2 key games against the Detroit Lions down the stretch in the later weeks of the season. I think they'll be able to put up more points than the Broncos. Think about it, the last few weeks, those were teams that couldn't put points on the board. They normally are, and they didn't. But I think the Vikings are playing good football. They're right there. It's going to be a tight one. I'll take the Vikings on the money line. It's going to be tight throughout. You're not going to be super confident throughout, but let's roll with it. Skull, they got this one. I think the Broncos fall back down a bit. I don't think the Broncos are a playoff team.
I don't think they're a playoff team either, but I do think that they're fringe. And I think the Vikings are going to drop this one and then win their next 3, and then they're still an easy playoff
in the same
team.
spot.
Yeah.
I do think this will be a great game though. Much better than we originally expected. If you looked at this matchup 3 or 4 weeks ago, you'd be like, oh, what a brutal Sunday night football game. Now they're both flying high, coming off of win streaks, coming into this one. Quarterbacks turn the table. They both got mobile quarterbacks. That's the biggest thing about both these guys. I think that's why the offense is so successful now. Russell Wilson starting to get his legs back under him, which has opened up the whole offense. And Josh Dobbs, we've seen what he can do since he came over to Minnesota. So Both sides you can have strong confidence in, but I'm going with the Vikings, like the value, like the better team in my opinion.
All right.
Puff, give me an over under real quick. 41.5. You like it over or under? Prime time Sunday night.
I'd go in the under.
Yep. All right. You heard
I
it here
think there's
first.
going to be points in that one though. But...
If it wasn't prime time, I think it would be set at like 45 probably.
And you'd take the over in it.
Yeah, I'd take the over probably. But prime time, it's just
slow
game.
That's why I'm not
Weird
touching
things
it.
Happen.
I like Mackey's point there. I think it'd be an over, but with the prime time matchup, that's the reason I think it goes under. Mile high helps an over though, Huff. Extra field goal.
Josh Downs thinks he'll have a bit more of an arm than he thinks he does in the mile high.
So well, he's the pastronaut, dude. You got to trust in the pastronaut when you're closer to the space. Come on.
Dude, he's gonna come back down to earth soon. If you want to use that for that or that, whatever you want to say.
Pastronaut, dude. Come on. He's going to explore new. I don't know.
He's the best story of the season.
He might go into the black hole of the playoffs, huh?
He's the best story of the season.
I mean, if DeMar Hamlin didn't die, he's the comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
You know what? He's still the comeback player of the year.
CJ Stroud's a pretty good.
DeMar Hamlin was the 12th man on that field. That field goal, the missed field goal.
All right, let's get into these mortal locks off.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Let's get into these mortal locks. I think people are ready for these.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into our mortal locks of the week. I'll start out with mine. I'm going with coming back from an injury. I know this is a tough pick. I'm going with the Devon A-Chain anytime touchdown plus 110. I think this Dolphins offense gets going today. I think him and Mostert both get in. Mostert's at some pretty steep odds. I'm going to go with A-Chain to get in the end zone, pick up right where he left off before he got hurt. Devon A-Chain anytime touchdown plus 110.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the CMC. No, I'm just kidding. He's going to get in the end zone this week. But I'm going to go with the Chargers on the money line here. We can play it safer on the mortal lock of the week. I'm going to take a -3 on the card, but I think the money line's the safest play you can go with. So if you want a mortal lock of the week, go with Justin Herbert. Fire him up. I think they can put up a lot of points here, contrary to the boys' belief.
Yeah, easy lock of the week. Derrick Henry over 54.5 rushing yards. I think he surpasses 100. I said it earlier. I think he gets in the end zone too, plus 150 anytime, which is also crazy. Either of those plays have major value. I think he easily gets over 54.5 rushing yards though.
Yeah, and then we have some of the Galucci's in the chat here calling out their locks. We have the Vikings mortal lock. We have Big Hoss. He's probably on the Ravens. They already won this week though. So
all Dolphins anytime touchdown.
So they're putting up 70 again.
You probably have a good chance of hitting like 3 out of 4 if you just place 4 of them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I also see the Steelers and the Jets. That's an anytime mortal lock. You got Jesse's mortal lock. You got Jesse's.
Jesse, you got a mortal lock.
Throw it in the chat real quick. We'll read it out.
Jesse's good. Jesse just said his mortal lock Steelers spread plus the 2.5.
Yeah, he's a Yinzer.
Very original.
I could have guessed that one. I could have guessed that. If you look at people's all-time mortal locks, you got the Yinzers with the Steelers, me with CMC, and Mackie with the toughest game of the week.
Toughest game of the week every week. Yeah, I didn't go tough this time, but I'll probably lose it because it went easy.
Yeah, that's a good alt leg. I feel like Mackie, that's going to end up being your parlay leg as well as that Derrick Henry with an alternate line, huh?
My parlay leg is actually, if you guys don't mind, it's going to be a plus 150 play. It's going to be Derrick Henry anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I definitely like it. Mine could be an Eckler one or CMC one. I'm going to get it anytime runner to get in. Maybe it's Kenneth Walker, that guy over there, but definitely look out for that. We're 1 for 2, went 3 for 4 last week on a 4-team parlay. We almost hit plus 750, but 2 weeks ago we hit plus 560. Hufflepuff posted out there, so tune into the socials. We definitely got you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for listening. Tune in. Obviously, tomorrow night we'll have our Monday night matchup for this Super Bowl rematch that we get tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. But other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys Thursday for the Week 12 episode.
No Mac Jones slander on here.